everyone, how are you all? Well, class students, today we are here with a new chapter, and the name of that chapter is heat transfer. It is chapter number 6. Students, here in this chapter, you will study about the boiling and evaporation, and after evaporation, thermal expansion of matter, linear area, volume expansion, and compare expansivity in solids, liquids, and gases. About all these you will study in this chapter. So students, you have noticed in rain season, so in rainy season the road they become dry quickly. So roads become dry, and where does the water go? This is the question. So it is converted into vapor actually, even though it is at room temperature, that means at normal temperature, approximate 25 to 30 degrees centigrade. And is this process the same of boiling? Is this the question is that is this process is same as boiling, wherein a liquid gets converted into gaseous state? Although the end results the above process, that means the conversion of water into vapor, it is the same as the boiling. It is altogether a different process than boiling. This process is called the evaporation. Okay. So let us study about the boiling and evaporation in details. So what is boiling and evaporation here? So that is boiling or evaporation, about that you will study. So the phenomenon, that means the process in which liquid substance changes into gas rapidly when it heated, you are seeing here, it is called the boiling point. And when this one will heated, it will convert into vapor. Okay. So when water changes into steam rapidly on heating, it is called the boiling of water. Okay. And the temperature at which it starts to boil, that is called the boiling point. So boiling point of water is 100 degrees centigrade. Okay. So 100 degrees Celsius. Now students, let's do an activity here. So determining the boiling point of water, you take a small amount of water here, and when you will start to heat it, okay, so here in this experiment you will determine the boiling point of water, that means at which temperature it start to boil. And after that the experiment here, when you will heat it with the help of it, and you will find finally that temperature you will measure at 50 degrees centigrade, it doesn't start to boil, at 98 doesn't start, but when it reaches to 100 degrees centigrade, it start to convert into the form of vapor. Okay. So you will come on the conclusion that its boiling point is 100 degrees centigrade. Okay. Here this one is the common salt is obtaining by the evaporation of sea. Actually when sea water is evaporated, then the solid materials that precipitated below, and that sea water is collected into shallow lagoons by the heat of sun, and finally when water is evaporated, the salt remains at that place, and that is collected. Okay. Now evaporation, it is the process in which some of the liquid at the surface absorbs heat from surrounding and turns into vapor and mixes with the gases in the vapor, that means gas, and here and mixes with the gases in the air. Okay. Now thus when a liquid turns into vapor, so it is said to be evaporate. So that means the process of a liquid changes into vapor or gas at any temperature below its boiling point, that is evaporation. That means boiling point, that is a fixed point that at which it will start to change into gaseous form, but that evaporation may takes place below the boiling point. Okay. This is the difference between evaporation and boiling point. Students, now factors affecting the evaporation. So evaporation that are affected by the temperature. So the rate of evaporation increases with increasing the temperature. That means when temperature will more, evaporation will more. And surface area also, when the rate of evaporation increases, that means surface area is also increasing. So when surface area will increase of liquid, suppose that this one is the area and this one is the area. So in second case, in case number B, you will find more evaporation. Okay. Next one is humidity. So the amount of water vapor which is present in air, it represents the term humidity. So when humidity of air is low, then the rate of evaporation increases. Okay. Now wind speed, when wind speed is more, so it increases the evaporation. Okay. And when wind speed is decreases, so its evaporation is decreases. This one is the parameter. Differentiate between the boiling point, that means boiling, and evaporation here. So here all these phenomena here, meaning of boiling point, that means boiling implies a vaporization process that turns liquid into gas when continuously heated, and evaporation is a natural process wherein the liquid changes its form to gas due to the increase in temperature. And the phenomenon boiling is a bulk phenomenon, and in the sense that is occurs throughout the liquid, and evaporation is a surface phenomenon. Okay. Now temperature required, so for both temperature is required, but boiling point it occurs only a definite temperature, and evaporation occurs below the boiling point also, and the bubbles it forms after boiling, and in evaporation bubbles doesn't form. Next one is energy. So boiling point, the source of energy is required, and for evaporation heat is supplied by the surrounding to it. And temperature of liquid, so that temperature remains same during the state change, but in evaporation temperature reduces during the evaporation. Suppose that you had observed that if any bucket or in any pot you will take the water content, so when it will evaporate, so this container it become cool after evaporation, since it reduces the temperature. Okay students, next one is tick the correct answer. You will do it with the help of given notes. Now next topic is thermal expansion of matter. Students, we will discuss about this in our next video. Till then, thank you everyone.